I look old, fat, and ugly. I can use a compliment.
Bill, your eyesight's damn near perfect.
Oh my God.
I just love the taste of nothing.
The number one thing holding you back from dating again?
The number one reason we are not dating is men.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you are all doing well. So on today's episode, we are going to be talking about the fact that modern women are not happy with dating. Some of them are choosing to leave dating, apparently. They're just out here having a very rough time because of men, apparently. So guys, before we jump into today's episode was made by Manosphere. Don't forget to go and subscribe to his channel. He puts in the hard work of putting together these videos for us to cringe at, which, guys, is incredibly painful because you have to listen to these individuals more than once to put the video together. So make sure to go and show him some love. And without further ado, guys, let's just jump right into the episode. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
So I had a date planned with this guy that I met on Hinge, and I don't know him very well. Literally never met him. We've been talking for like 5 days. So I agreed to meet him at the restaurant. But he just texted me and he said that he was feeling tired from work, and then he was like, we should just like stay at my place instead. Like, you should come over later. We can like watch a movie. Okay, but I'm gonna rob you.
Welcome back, guys, to another video of When You Date a Modern Woman. Please watch till the end, cause there are a lot of crazy stories you will want to hear. And last but not least, if you enjoy my content, a sub would be really appreciated.
I just want to know where these dudes get the audacity sometimes. I went on a date, okay? He took an Uber to the bar, whatever. We spent like a couple hours at the bar. When it came time to go, he was like, oh yeah, the Ubers are really expensive right now. Okay, sucks for you. And he goes, yeah, do you mind if I get a ride back to your place and get an Uber from there? And to me, that made absolutely no sense because we lived on opposite ends of town. I was like, how does that make sense? He goes, yeah, well, the Ubers in the morning will be cheaper. The morning? You're spending the night? When was this established? He goes, are you okay with that? Absolutely not. No. Yeah, that's how you end up on a murder documentary. Not I, said the duck. He's like, no, I wouldn't try to have sex with you. Oh, you not? You think that's all I'm worried about? Who raised you? First time meeting him, by the way. Oh, can I kiss you? No, you cannot. He was fine as hell, too. No, you can't.
Ma'am, why would you ask him who raised you? When you are covered in tattoos, you have long nails, and half your hair is pink. What do you think he was expecting from you?
I love how she pretends to be indignant, where like, oh, how dare you suggest that we kiss on the first date, as if she hasn't done that before. Also, there are so many red flags in this video, I probably couldn't even count them all, but it's absolutely insane how situations like these arise, and we're all straight to, oh, he did all these things that are terrible. But let me tell you something, guys. I reckon if this man continued to date this woman, he'd be the one going through the terrible situations. I would probably consider that a bullet well dodged, but let's continue.
I want to tell you guys a true story. It's so unbelievable that you're not going to think it's a true story, but it is. When I was 22, I went on 2 different dates with one guy. The first date we went to the LACMA, which is a museum, and the second date we went to the movies and got tacos. I wasn't into him. So when he asked me on a third date, I texted him back and I declined, and I said, I think you're a really nice guy, but I don't see this going anywhere between us, and I wish you the best and would love to be friends if you want to be friends. He never responded, which is fine. But then, boom, boom, boom. About a year later, I was at a bar with a bunch of my friends. I was sitting on a bench talking to this guy who was just my friend. And the guy I had gone on 2 dates with a year prior saw me across the bar and started making his way over to me. It took me a minute to even place who he was. When he got to me, he turned his back to me. He lifted up one leg. He farted on me. It was so loud, people turned around. He said, eat my and walked away.
Oh my god! Wow! Yeah, guys, it's hard when they friendzone you after 2 dates. I mean, okay, let's say after the first date you don't know each other and maybe in real life it goes awful. But why go on a second date, give him hope, and then when he asks you out again, then you say no, but we can be friends.
Whenever I watch these videos, guys, and the women will say these things, and it makes the man look like he's somehow, you know, he's a terrible person, right? Because you might think, oh yeah, well, that was pretty insensitive of him. I guarantee you that's not the whole story. There was probably something else going on. In all likelihood, she did something else, because people don't just do stuff like this. But of course, when a lot of these people make these TikToks and they talk about dudes from their past, they'll tend to leave out significant details, which I am willing to bet that we did not get. Let's continue.
1 week till I meet the guy that I've been talking to for over a month on Facebook dating. 6 days. 5 days. Only 4 more days. I'm really nervous. 3 days. Also, he lives 3 hours away. I meet him tomorrow.
He's gonna cancel.
So actually, funny story is that I never got to finish this, but we did meet over a month ago, but he turned out to be an asshole. You want to hear?
I want you to get lost. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want you to talk to me. I don't want you in my life at all.
What are you guys willing to bet that she catfished him? I'm sure she had edited pictures, filters, all that, and when he met her in real life, she wasn't like she said. I don't have any other explanation to why he would react like that after talking to her for so long. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.
I think she did something crazy, to be honest with you. Like, whenever women play voice notes about dudes or whatever, like, they'll talk for a bit about some context, okay? Then they'll play, like, a voice note where the dude sounds incredibly emotional. But I guarantee you, in these situations, the women have done something to evoke that out of the guy that they're just completely leaving out. Like, I don't buy that at all. I think she did something crazy to warrant that reaction from him.
Update on my horrible dating life fail. I ended up going on a date with a guy I said I wasn't going to go on a date with. Went over to his apartment for a pool day. Everything's going well, we're vibing. After about like 4 hours, he's like, hey, I want you to meet my friends. And I'm like, okay, cool. Go over to their house, meet his friends. They ask if I'm coming to the party later. I'm like, no. He's like calling me an Uber right now to leave. It's awkward for like 5 minutes. And then he's like, I'm canceling your Uber. You should stay and like hang out more. I want to spend time with you more. And I was like, okay, whatever. But if I stay, I want to order more food. And then he's like, okay, well, just so you know, some like people's girlfriends are coming over. And I was like, cool. Not expecting it to be his girlfriend or a date he invited. I get back to his friend's house, start talking to the girls that are sitting on the couch. We find out within 2 seconds we're on a date with the same guy. They're like, we're gonna leave. This is not the vibe. They invited me to come with them to a bar and like hang out, get drinks. So both of his dates left and went and partied together. We got drinks, ate some pizza. Sent him a picture of us making out.
In the past,
I don't think that the dude particularly cares about this. And to be honest, if you're doing that and then you send a picture to him of this happening, then it just says that you care more than you're putting on, to be honest.
my little brother go through my Hinge profile, and he's told me all the ways that it won't work out with men. But I just started talking to a girl named Marie, and I have high hopes.
Yeah, except I don't think it's going to work out with Marie. First, she speaks 6 languages. You are a classic example of American education. She lives in France. You live in a false reality. She doesn't drink. And you have a liver that's more abused than our Olympics gymnastics team.
Eli!
So, sorry.
That roast was more toxic than I
put both of these videos one after the other because I started seeing a trend that some women that fail to get a good man and end up in toxic relationship after toxic relationship, they get to a point when they start dating women. But they don't realize that dating women is even harder than dating men.
I'm like, this man really wants to split $74. So I was like, okay, fine. So I, put my card in, the lady comes and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna split it, like feeling all humiliated, but I was like, whatever. And then when she brings, us back our slips to sign, I noticed that he only leaves a $5 tip. And I'm like, dude, we've been sitting at a prime table for over 2 hours. This waitress has not hassled us at all, even though she knows at this point that she's not gonna make any money off of us. You have to tip her out. So I had like $25 as a tip. I'm like, all right, like she was cool to us, whatever. So as we're leaving, he's like, this is the best date I've ever been on. Like, I can't wait to see you again. And in my head, I'm like, me? You're not gonna see me again. So he's walking me, to where I parked, and I could tell that he was hoping I was gonna give him a ride because, he had parked a mile away and walked. And usually when I'm out, guys offer to pay for your valet or your parking, which I knew wasn't about to happen in this case.
Guys, this story was made in 6 parts, 6 different videos, so I'm not going to put everything in cause I don't want you to get a headache. But oh my god, the entitlement on some Western women is amazing. So she is 30 something, she looks like that, and she expects a man to pay for valet and parking and the restaurant.
The Metasphere is so brutal. He just says, and she looks like that. What a savage.
Ma'am, you are a feminist, so where is the equality in that?
The thing that gets me out of that video is the part where she says, well, usually men do this. So why, if you know, why don't you, as an empowered woman, go back to all of those men that you usually go out with and maybe get some more money from them? It's really interesting to me, guys, how the first people, you can look this woman in the eye and you already know she's the type of individual to complain about women being objectified. She's got an opinion on everything. She's incredibly masculine, right? They are the first individuals to not only objectify themselves, but also just boil men straight down to their wallets. And this is why men don't want to date these girls. And this is why a lot of these women end up like they fail at dating in the end. They're unable to secure a man and they'll sit there and go, oh, well, dating sucks. I give up. I can't find a good man. Little do they realize it's literally them the entire time. And guys, like, here's the thing that a lot of these girls do not seem to understand is guys actually don't really care so much about providing for a woman. Like, they really don't. What really irks men, what really makes a dude not want to deal with you is just the entitlement. Okay, it's not because, oh, he can't pay for me because he's broke or this or that, right? Dudes just don't like the entitlement, you know? Like, there are plenty of dudes who would be willing to get into a marriage, even though it's incredibly stupid, you know, willing to go out here and get into a marriage, a long-term relationship to provide and care for their families. And a lot of dudes want to have families. But the thing that drives men away is, number one, marriage laws, and number two, this just incessant entitlement that a lot of these girls seem to think that they have with a man's wallet. It's really kind of insane.
Oh, girl. Yes way. For those of you who don't know what this comment is referencing, I had a boyfriend for about 6 years who did not like women, and there were many indications of that I chose to ignore. One of these many signs was revealed to me over Halloween. These are my lovely parents. They were college sweethearts. They've always been Halloween icons. And this is their Halloween costume in college. My dad was Hugh Hefner. My mom was a Playboy bunny. All I wanted out of my boyfriend at the time was to recreate this adorable moment. So I go to him, I'm so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought of our couple's Halloween costume this year. Like, we can recreate my parents' photos. It's gonna be so cute. He looks at me, disgusted. It says, no, Anna, I won't do that. That's mortifying.
So because he didn't do that, it means that he hates women. I wouldn't dress like that either. And if my girlfriend would ask me to do that, I would break up with her. But of course my girlfriend would never say something like that. Why dress like that just for a photo so you can put it on Instagram and get attention and likes?
Isn't that crazy, guys, how you can be considered someone who doesn't like women because you don't want your girl and yourself to look like absolute clowns, you know? So guys, apparently if you're in a relationship with a woman, you got a wife, you got a girlfriend or whatever, apparently you don't like women if you don't want to, you know, have your girlfriend post very questionable photos. You know, isn't that crazy? And again, notice how at the start of the video she even talks about the fact that they'd been together for 6 years and there were many signs that she chose to ignore. So if these things were so egregious, they were so awful, you're mortified by them, he clearly didn't like women in your own opinion, why did you stay for 6 years? And don't give me that crap of like, oh, I was pressured or I didn't know I deserved better. You chose to stay there and, you know, that's your decision and that's your cross to bear. Guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode. There are plenty of bullets dodged from the men in this episode, I think. I think a lot of these girls who say that they're done with dating or they're sick and tired of it, it's probably a good thing for the dating pool, in all honesty. Maybe if we can just get some of these individuals who are incredibly insane out, perhaps things will be a little bit better. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments. And as always, guys, make sure that you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.